You know, over the last few months, we've been blessed with some truly great new TV shows to sink our teeth into, from a host of different streaming services and creators. As the big world of the small screen becomes more and more uncertain, it's truly refreshing to see that so many brilliant shows are still finding a way to break through the cracks. So, let's take a look at some of them, shall we? I'm Ewan, this is What Culture, and here are 10 awesome new TV shows you need to watch. Number 10. Three Body Problem. In many ways, Three Body Problem has all the hallmarks of the various alien invasion stories you've seen before, following a gaggle of scientists forced to contend with an impending space-based cataclysm. Love that word, gaggle. Based on a novel by Liu Cixin and anchored by a committed ensemble, including Game of Thrones alums John Bradley and Liam Cunningham, alongside a deadpan Benedict Wong, Three Body Problem creates the world as vibrantly constructed as it is thrilling, acting more like a procedural than your standard sci-fi fare. Not all the show's first season works. There's a slight emotional detachment that leaves some of its characters drifting through space, their plight not as urgent as it could otherwise be, but for the most part, it keeps you seated with stunning visuals and a brisk pace that allows its twists to land with a solid punch. It's only on its first season, so these flaws, already overshadowed by the show's highs, may be ironed out going forward. Not to get all Darth Vader-y on you, but the foundation for something truly great is strong with this one. Number 9. Expats. Created and entirely directed by the Farewell's Lulu Wang, Amazon's latest drama Expats takes place in Hong Kong and follows three American women whose lives become entangled by political upheaval, marital discord, and classic cases of identity crisis. Starring Nicole Kidman, this miniseries moves at the pace of a breakneck thriller, but for all its rapid-fire drama, never fails to settle on the intimate. It tackles grief and loss against a vivid historical backdrop, and with that crafts three characters whose lives feel true and attested to. All of this is amplified by Wang's consummate direction, which for all of Expats' twisty subplots is never less than impressively focused. The true star of the show, though, has to be newcomer Saryu Blue, who plays a woman stuck in a crumbling marriage with such raw humanity that her heartbreak will constantly catch you by surprise. She's a real star to watch, and Expats is a series begging for some more attention. Number 8. True Detective Night Country. Though technically the fourth season of the ongoing True Detective anthology franchise, Night Country feels like an entirely new show thanks to its bold setting change and behind-the-scenes crew shuffle. The first of the series not to feature insight from mastermind Nick Pizzolatto, Night Country was written and directed instead by Issa Lopez, who shifted the procedural drama of the show to the snowy plains of Alaska without losing sight of the thrilling air of mystery that has driven the series from day one. Starring the great Jodie Foster and Kaylee Reese as detectives on the case of a missing group of scientists in a fictional Alaskan town, the bracing tale may enlist a slow burn approach to its 6 90-minute episodes, but the intricacy with which it crafts its mystery and explores the past of its central characters ensures constant, nail-biting attention. Number 7. We Were the Lucky Ones. Moving, and yes, a frequently harrowing watch, this Holocaust miniseries is based on the book of the same name by Georgia Hunter, and tells the story of the semi-autobiographical Kirks family who were torn apart and separated by the Second World War, and in its aftermath worked tirelessly to find each other again. Driven by a host of remarkably powerful performances, especially from series leads Joey King, Logan Lerman, Amit Rahav, and Deadwood's Robin Weigart, as well as its ability to be at once soul-shatteringly bleak and full of hopeful determination, We Were the Lucky Ones takes a familiar tragedy and injects it with fresh, life-affirming insight. Intimate, gorgeously shot, and truly vital, We Were the Lucky Ones won't be an easy journey for everyone to take, but it is one that rewards you for taking that leap. Number 6. XMen 97. It's no secret that the Marvel Cinematic Universe has been on a bit of a slump as of late, but that's exactly what makes X-Men 97 such a remarkable standout. In a sea of derivative and rushed-out movies, this is one superpowered action flick alive with real vision and bold storytelling. Created by Beau DeMayo as a follow-up to the classic X-Men animated series of 1992 fame, this animated thrill ride follows its eponymous team as they deal with the death of Professor Xavier, the installation of Magneto as their new leader, and the continued rise of global anti-mutant sentiment. The striking animation harkening back to the original series and a variety of soulful performances from its returning cast, X-Men 97 serves as a stunning, worthy follow-up to the series that originally gave it life, proving that superheroes are still capable of thrilling audiences and finding things to say. For real, this one is more than just cheap nostalgia bait, it's the real deal. Number 5. One Day. Another remake here, and another successful adaptation. One Day, based on the cult romance novel by David Nichols, follows two soulmates who find their paths diverging and intersecting until life and the powers that be finds a way to keep them together. With a clever narrative device that allows each episode to take place over the course of just one day in every year from 1988 to 2000, the heartbreaking but tender romance explores the lives of two perfectly imperfect people who seem destined for each other despite all that's put in their path. Anchored by the sincere performances of stars Ambika Bod and Leo Woodall, One Day has all the highs and lows of life written into its story, which offers frank discussions of love, fate, career trouble, identity, addiction, and grief that, no matter where you are in life, will surely be something for you to connect with. At times, desperately sad, frequently very funny, and always heartbreakingly honest to its characters and their lives, One Day is not a show you want to miss. Number 4. Mr. and Mrs. Smith. On paper, a small screen remake of the hit Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt movie, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, sounded just a smidge cynical. An attempt by Amazon to rake in nostalgic audiences with a blast from the past. But this is actually one rare reboot that doesn't just work on its own merits. It actually constantly surpasses its source material. Created by Francesca Sloan and co-lead Donald Glover, Mr. and Mrs. Smith stars Glover and Maya Erskine as undercover agents who are hired by a mysterious organization with unknown, but obviously lethal intentions. Posing as a real-life couple, the initially skeptical pair soon fall in love, putting their actual lives in jeopardy. As action-packed as its predecessor, but with an added edge of pure romanticism and riotous laughs, Mr. and Mrs. Smith is a hilarious and surprisingly tender tale of two people falling for each other, whilst their worlds and identities collide with explosive results. Thanks to the effortless chemistry and comedic timing of its leads, as well as some stellar writing courtesy of Sloan and former Atlantis scribe Stephen Glover, Mr. and Mrs. Smith is absolute dynamite and one of the biggest surprises of the year so far. Number 3. Fallout. Adapting any popular gaming franchise to the screen is a task riddled with uncertainty and obstacles, but Amazon's recent hit Fallout is living proof that it's far from impossible. Taking the grimy, post-apocalyptic world of the games and injecting it with vibrant color and a wicked sense of humor, Fallout follows three radically different souls: a naive soldier working to find his place in the world, a sheltered woman seeking answers, and a mutated cowboy bounty hunter searching for absolution as they traverse a desolate wasteland. Sporting a violent tale of betrayal and the apocalypse, Fallout makes the most of a veteran cast headed up by Walton Goggins, Kyle MacLachlan, and Ella Purnell, and delightfully dark laughs to show that game adaptations can be both faithful and put their own spin on a familiar story. Full of shock twists, perfectly executed cliffhangers, and a great deal of hope despite the bloodshed, Fallout is destined for many more seasons to come, and may just be the kind of epic saga that will get better every year. Plus, it's Walton Goggins. I don't think you actually need another reason to watch something that he's in, because he's the best. Number 2. Shogun. There have been many shows produced this year that make the most of their enveloping sense of time and place, both in worlds real and imagined, but none more so than Rachel Kondo and Justin Mark's astonishing historical drama, Shogun. Based on the epic novel series by James Clavell, Shogun takes place in 17th century Japan, as a gaggle of regents battle to consolidate power after the death of their leader, and a shipwrecked Englishman shakes the lives and fortunes of the people he encounters. Gorgeously shot and bursting with authentic historical features, the costume design, set pieces, and meticulously detailed insight into the customs and rituals of feudal Japan, the drama soars with its conflict, both violent and psychological, as well as the intensifying depiction of its political turmoil. With a brilliant ensemble led by Hiroyuki Sanada, Cosmo Jarvis, and a show-stopping Anna Sawai, as well as a staggering command of pace and character, Shogun juggles its drama with startling precision, and is truly a sight to behold. And number 1, Ripley. The latest addition to the on-screen Ripley canon stars the brilliant Andrew Scott as Patricia Highsmith's infamously crafty conman, following him as he inserts his way into the life of a wealthy heir and his suspicious girlfriend. An adaptation of Highsmith's novel, The Talented Mr. Ripley, Ripley is shot in luminous black and white and adopts a painstakingly slow burn approach to its mysterious tale of deceit, greed, and murder. It's not a show to be binged, though its 8 episodes were released all at once by Netflix, but rather savored. Grounded by Scott's alluring and impenetrable performance, perhaps the greatest aspect of Ripley comes from the direction of Steven Zaillian, whose patience behind the camera yields many rewards for those watching closely for the tricks and foreshadowing he deploys. Visually dynamic, quietly tragic, and ultimately horrible in its assessments of obsession and greed, Ripley is a captivating series that holds you in a vice-like grip until the very last frame. There have been many adaptations of Highsmith's work, and this new series sits up there with the very best.